This week went by so. I love weeks that go by so fast.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, sir. So I got a lot to do this weekend. I got some plans this weekend. Shoot. Uh, that's nice of you. Was hilarious. Got some good news, but I'm not ready to reveal it yet. Um, I just realized 420 is on Easter.
Get high and go Easter hunting. Easter egg hunting. Fuck you.
Trying to get as high as Jesus.
You gonna be.
You said what?
I said you're gonna be.
Nah, but for real,
You're
though,
gonna
I
be
got
so high they're gonna have to crucify you.
right. But for real though, I'm probably gonna go to church that day before I go
You
chill
going
with
to
some
church?
friends.
Red going to church? Oh my god.
I actually do go to church. Thank you,
Wow.
but not all the time though.
Nice.
Yeah. I usually
Mega
have to go to church like
Giant. What
once or
up,
twice.
Mega Giant? Who we drafting at the third pick, Mega Giant? Who we drafting next week?
You said Nevermind is an absolute masterpiece. Oh yeah,
Yes, it is. And I
find out what.
can't you can't have no 91 list without Nevermind on it.
See where it places on our list and shit.
I know it's going.
Oh, I know what's going for you. Okay, let me send this to a few people. Then we about to start this. I gotta leave by 10 o'clock. So speaking of rock, apparently the Who fired their drum player they had since '96. Get this, because according to Roger Daltrey, who
Mm,
actually went who actually went on the news saying that he's going deaf, he
right.
said that because the drummer was playing loud and shit. And I'm saying to myself, why aren't you going deaf and shit? But you know what? Never mind. Never mind.
Abdul Carter, that's what we getting. I think they need to draft Shador Sanders. Get the quarterback of the future. That makes more sense. They trying to win. They trying to win this year, and for what? Like they're not going nowhere with Russell Wilson.
I feel you. Alrighty, alrighty. All right, I'm ready to start whenever you are, boss.
Let's go.
What's good, YouTube? How's everybody doing? This your boy Reg in the building. I got my homeboy Try in the building with me. How you doing, Try?
Um,
So this is actually the first top rock albums we're doing on our channel.
First time for
So
everything.
yeah. You said what?
First time for everything.
Right. We already did a top 100 rock albums and stuff like that. We did that about 2 years ago. So in case y'all missed it, y'all can go check that out. But I thought, what better way to start than 1991? I was originally going to start with 1977, but I'm not. I don't think y'all ready for that one yet. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. 1991. This is next to 1977 and 1969. My personal favorite year of rock music, because a lot of dope things was happening around this time too. Most notably, we saw the breakthrough of grunge music, alternative rock. I'm not going to say alternative rock because alternative rock's been here for ages, but I'm going to say grunge music, especially what was happening in Seattle and stuff like that too. You had a lot of other bands doing their thing, thrash metal, a little bit of hair metal was still alive, but it was dying out and stuff like that too. I somehow picked 12 albums for my list. How many albums did you pick?
Got 8.
Okay, it's not bad. Still about the same. Okay, cool. All right. So now I'm gonna start off with my number 12. This is an album y'all gonna be surprised I have on my list, and it's Van Halen with
Mhm.
the For Unlawful Carnival Knowledge, which is also known as the Fuck album. Uh, this album came out June 17th, 1991. Yes, I have a Sammy Hagar Van Halen album. And if you guys remember when we did the Van Halen breakdown, this is actually my favorite Sammy Hagar album from Van Halen. And this is one I really want to get a collection.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi was going in and out. But Ted Templeton, who produced the albums from the David Lee Roth era, she came back for this album too. This was known for songs like "Right Now," which I feel like that's like political, their first political song, which caught a lot of people off guard when it came out because it's like Van Halen doing actually some political, social conscious shit. You know what I'm saying? You have "Pound Cake," the 1991 VMA performance of that song, fire. "Man on a Mission," "Top of the World." You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is like I said, my favorite of the Sammy Hagar. Well, I like to call them Van Hagar albums and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? One day I'm gonna get all the Sammy Hagar albums and stuff like that too. Because like I said, I remember years ago I did not like the Van Hagar years and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always to this day I'm still a David Lee Roth stan and shit. But the last two Sammy Hagar albums, this one and the one that they dropped in '93, pretty much some of their best work in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? My number 11. This is also going to be a surprise pick. This is going to be Queen with Innuendo. Technically, the last album Freddie Mercury did when he was alive with Queen. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you guys know, when we did the Queen breakdown years ago, I purposely wanted to at Hot Space for Now and stuff like that. I was going to jump into their 80 because like 84 to 88, 89 Queen, while they were still good, it wasn't really, they were kind of hit or miss. But this album right here, Innuendo, you know what I'm saying? This one, they kind of like went back. It's like a back to the basics. It's like they knew Freddie was not going to be here. They knew Freddie was not going to be here forever. So they might as well just go out with a bang. And that's what they literally did. Everyone knows the show must go on, which, spoiler alert, that's actually my favorite song on the album and everything like that too. You know, and I will put that with some of the great Queen songs like Bohemian Rhapsody, Get Down, Make Love, and so on and so on. Ride the Wild Wind was dope. I can't live with I can't live with you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this album, if you listen to this album, it's gonna be like a breath of fresh air. It's like it sounds like they did this album like 74, 75. Can't wait to get my hands on this album one day because this album it's gonna be a bittersweet album, especially if you're a Queen fan. You know what I'm saying? So my number 10, we're gonna get down right to U2 with Autumn Baby. This is actually their seventh studio album that came out November 8th, 1991. I mean, my personal, this might be their third, my third favorite album from the group. This is an album where a lot of people say, "Oh, this is a comeback," because he loves to hate on Rattle and Rum. Which I'm gonna be real with you, I actually love Rattle and Rum. I love like the jazziness of that album. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this album came out 3 years after, and they were actually about to break up. But then they did this song. They recorded song one, which everyone knows that song. I personally love that song. That's actually my introduction to U2 too. You know what I'm saying? And then we have songs like "The Fly," "Mysterious Ways." Oh my God,
Yes.
she's right. It's all right. She moves in mysterious ways. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, y'all. I know about my U2, y'all. Don't don't let the hip hop fool you. I know about my rock and shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, very dope album. Now, granted, I'm more for Zoo Roper. I feel like Zoo Roper is their best album from the '90s, but this one
You're
right here is
wrong.
their.
You're wrong, Dogma. I'll try again.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm reading Dogma's stupid comment.
Oh, he said Green Day is gonna be number one. Nah, nah, trust
You're
me.
wrong.
I know
You don't know me.
there's one thing about Try. He's not gonna put Green Day for number one on 1991.
Nope. Nope. Not.
All right, as I was saying, yeah, Zooropa, that's my favorite YouTube album of the 90s. This one's my second. I feel like U2 in the 90s, they were still just as good. I even love the pop album from 97. You know what I'm saying? I even love
Yep.
that album.
Yeah,
Um,
that's when they
you said
started
what?
to change their sound with Optimum Baby.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Especially around the time when they survived, when a lot of 80s rock bands was going downhill and shit like that too, you know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
I'm gonna save that story. Um, number 9 is Lenny Kravitz. I wrote down Lenny Williams for some reason. Lenny Kravitz with Mama Said. Now this is an album that he did in tribute to his mom, Roxy Roker, which you all know played Helen from the Jeffersons and stuff like that too, you know what I'm saying? Very dope album, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not as good as Are You Gonna Go My Way, which I feel like that's his magnum opus, but this one he definitely went more psychedelic with this one and shit like that, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It ain't over, baby, till it's over. So many tears I cry. I love that record. Always on the Run with Slash was dope. What
Hmm.
goes around comes around. You know what I'm saying? Now I do admit the last maybe 4 tracks on this album was kind of hit or miss. I'm gonna give you that. But at the same time, this album right here, if I didn't even share it, hold on. This album right here, which we've also done a review on, it definitely is a very groundbreaking album for its time. You know what I'm saying? So I love this album. My second favorite Lenny Kravitz album. Now number 8, I'm so glad this album's on my list. It's the one, the only Ozzy Osbourne with No More Tears.
That's
You know what I'm saying? This came out in 1991. But I feel like you have that album on your list too, huh?
Ozzy.
Yeah.
No, I got Lenny, not Ozzy.
Oh, okay. You said yes right after I said that. You know what I'm saying? So, just to let you guys know, I do plan on reviewing some Ozzy shit in the future and Black Sabbath shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait. I can't wait. But this album is a very interesting album because he recorded this 3 years after the Rest for the Wicked album. I think that was an album from 1988. Yeah, which I feel like that's might be his third best album solo wise. But this album right here, this is the album I feel like it's the beginning of mainstream Ozzy and stuff like that too, because you had more input from Zach Wild, who I feel like is definitely next to Randy Rhoads, his best guitarist and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who Zach also debuted on No Rest for the Wicked. A lot of people think he debuted on this album. No, he debuted on the previous album. This was known for songs like the title track, Mama, I'm Coming Home, which one of his best vocal performances he's ever done. I Don't Want to Change the World, which was also co-written by the late great Lemmy from Motorhead, Hellraiser. Man, this whole album is definitely a banging ass album and stuff like that. Like this is what I feel like is the beginning of the second wave of Ozzy Osbourne and shit
Right.
like that too. You know what I'm saying? Ozzy, keep your head up. That's all I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? Number 7, I totally forgot about this record. Is Skid Row was Slave to the Grind. Now, Skid Row is a group that I personally feel are very, very, very interesting because a lot of people want to put them on the hair metal train and stuff like that too. I feel like they were hair metal, but they were a more edgier hair metal,
Right.
especially when it came to the album. Because I feel like this album, it was probably one of the most heaviest albums from 1991. This was known for songs like Slave to the Grind, Monkey Business, In a Darkened Room, and everything like that too. Psycho Love. Ooh, that's a banging right track right there. You know what I'm saying? Sebastian Bach vocal on this album was amazing on this shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I definitely need to get my hands on this album and stuff. This album is kind of hard to come by these days and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they might because of their hair metal, but they still had a very authenticity with them. You know what I'm saying? Um, next album, we at number 6,
Yep.
5. Um, I gotta go with the Red Hot Chili Peppers with Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Now, this to many people might be their first introduction to Red Hot Chili Peppers and stuff like that. saying? Um, I've been wanting to do this review for years and stuff like that, but I was trying to really get some more Red Hot Chili Peppers albums. Yeah, I think I only have this one, and what else? I think, yeah, I think I just got this album to this day. Wow, and stuff like that. Okay, I'm slacking. Okay, um, yeah. Wait. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so this album is like their most successful album. No, scratch that. Next to Californication, it's the most successful. You know what I'm saying? Very, very dope. My only gripe with this album is it's sometimes a bit too long for my taste, and I feel like there was some tracks I could have done without. But that does not mean it's a slouch either. Like songs like "Give It Away." I mean, that to me was what made me a fan of them. At first I did not care for the Red Hot Chili Peppers at first. You know what I'm saying? I love "Under the Bridge." "If You Have to Ask" was dope. "Breaking the Girl."
I say,
Believe it or not, I'm getting some flack. "Suck My Kiss," I kind of have mixed feelings
suck my
about.
kids.
I've heard that song so many times and
Yeah,
shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I go back and forth with which album is my favorite from them. Either this album or maybe Californication.
I
You know
love
what I'm
that
saying?
one.
Or
That's my
even
favorite one.
yeah, sometimes I would have to take it back to the Uplift Mojo,
Mhm.
Mother's Milk. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I think Uplift Mojo, George Clinton produced that one and
Right.
stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Yeah, man. Check out a review we did on One Hot Minute, which I feel like that's the most underrated album. All right, top five. You know what I'm saying? Top five, top five. So number five, we have another grunge masterpiece right here and stuff like that too. It is Pearl Jam with the 10 album. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. We never really talked about Pearl Jam on this channel and stuff like that too. And I never had a Pearl Jam record. We talk about Nirvana, Alice in Chains, but never Pearl Jam. So this album right here is definitely a very monumental album when it comes to grunge music. Is it my favorite album from them? Believe it or not, I have to kind of go with Biology. I feel like that's my personal favorite album from them. Either that one or Versus, but you can't really go wrong with the first three. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm more of a Pearl Jam fan in the '90s. I have to listen to more of that the latter period. But back besides the point, very dope songs here. We got Jeremy, which I feel like that's what really got me a fan of them. I remember I learned about the story of that song when I was watching like VH1's Countdown to 100 Greatest Songs of the '90s and stuff like that too. Very sad and dark song and stuff. We got Alive. I stay alive. Crazy song. Even flow. Even. I mean, I'm not even gonna mimic exactly what the fuck he was saying and shit like that. So you know what I'm saying? But this is the grunge masterpiece. I feel like next to another album from grunge that came out this year, that's definitely changed the game and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Number four. I gotta. This group pisses me off sometimes and shit like that. But you know what? I gotta put this album on here, and a lot of people might hate me. I don't give a fuck. Is Metallica with the Black Album,
I did.
um, self-titled album, whatever you want to call this and stuff like that. I'm personally gonna call it the Black Album. I feel like it's worthy of that name and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? This album, very controversial album when it comes to their fan base and also when it comes to rock music because Metallica was more of like a underground act until they dropped the song One. But then this album came out and it just knocked them off their feet and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just the intro to Enter Sandman, that ding 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 ding. I love that. Might be actually my favorite Metallica song ever, and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? It was so fucking heavy, dark. I remember when we actually did a review on this album. I said it was pretty much the coolest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very dope. But it's not just Enter Sandman. Songs like Sad But True, Nothing Else Matters. I mean, ooh, that one right there is banging. Nothing Else Matters. What's that one track they did with the riff and everything? My Friend of Misery. Ooh, classic album to me. And this might be the last great album. I didn't really care too much for a lot of the shit that they came out with, like Load, Reload, Sin Anger. I didn't really care for a lot of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And the day I do a review on those albums and stuff like that, it's gonna be a day. Now, my next technically two choices. I could count both of these albums as one placement, but I love each of these albums in a separate way. My number three is Guns N' Roses with Use Your Illusion 2. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Use Your Illusion 2, which came out in 1991 as well too. Very dope. We all know the story about the Use Your Illusion series. I'm gonna say my thoughts on Use Your Illusion 1 in a minute, but Use Your Illusion 2 was them really stretching their influences and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like this was pretty much a progressive metal album, if that makes sense. You know, you have songs like "You Could Be Mine," which that was also on the Terminator 2 soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? Get in the Ring. I think, no, not Get in the Ring. Yeah, Get in the Ring was on this one where they were dissing like their critics and everything like that too. So Fine, Civil War, Estranged. I love that riff for Estranged. Oh my god, one of Slash's best riffs he's ever done, and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know a lot of fans want to say, "Oh, Guns N' Roses was only good in Appetite for Destruction. Everything after Appetite sucks." I highly disagree with that. This album really was them at their peak. Now, what do I think about Use Your Illusion One though, which is technically um my favorite of the Use Your Illusions and stuff like that, and it's also my number two pick. This album right here was another very dope one and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? This is what I call the more hard rock counterpart to the Illusion series and stuff. You know what I'm saying? This was known for songs like November Rain. I love the VMA performance he did with Elton John. That was dope. Garden of Eden, The Garden with Alice Cooper was fire. You Ain't the First. They did a cover of Live and Let Die from Paul McCartney and Wings, which I kind of like more than the Paul McCartney version. You know what I'm saying? I mean, very dope album. I've done a review on this album years ago and everything like that too. Yeah, I've pretty much done all the Guns N' Roses albums except for Chinese Democracy, which I'm not really in a rush to do Chinese Democracy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, do I even have to tell my number one at this point? I mean,
You know what it is.
I kind of y'all know what it is. It's the one, the only Nirvana with Nevermind. I mean, when it comes to the most influential albums of the decade, this album is definitely top of my list. This album, I remember when I first heard "Smells Like Teen Spirit" years, of course, years after it came out. I didn't really get the hype from Nirvana when I first heard it, but then the song that made me fall in love with it was "Lithium" and everything like that too. And then I immediately want to check out this album, and I had to kick myself saying, "Yeah, this one right here pretty much changed the game, made alternative rock a commercial and cultural touchstone and stuff like that too." You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of people want to say, "Oh, this is the album that kicked Dangerous off the charts." Dangerous is still selling. It sold pretty much 4 million once this album came out. So it's not like Michael was it was a commercial failure. But anyway, very dope song. I mean, there's no bad tracks on this one. Smells Like Teen Spirit, Come As You Are, Polly, Drain You, Lounge Act, and everything like that too. This is a monumental album.
You are.
Right. Classic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody tried to do this album over again. It got to the point where even hair metals were trying to go into grunge and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's my list right there. So I'm gonna let Try take over while I get ready to go to
All right.
work.
I got 8 in the honorable mention. Somebody mentioned Hole in the comments, and I have Hole, pretty on the Inside album. Really enjoyed
Mhm.
this. You had joints like Teenage War, which was the first track, and Good Sister, Bad Sister, Star Baby, Baby Doll. Really enjoyed this album. Courtney Love's group. So that was my honorable mention. Number 8, I got Lenny Kravitz. Mama said you mentioned that the big hit, and Ain't Over Till It's Over. Very soulful track. You had Flowers for Zoe, which was a track dedicated to his daughter Zoe Kravitz. You had Stand By My Woman, Always on the Run. A very, you know how Lenny's gonna come. He's gonna come with some rock. He's gonna come with some R&B, a little bit of hip hop, and it all mixes together very well for a Lenny Kravitz album. This album to me is very slept on. Like we done the review on his first album, which was a classic to me. I loved the some of his other albums. You know what I'm saying? But this one to me was very dope. Love the production and different sounds on here by Lenny, Hall of Famer. So that's my number 8. Number 7 was Green Day, Kaplunk. There's Green Day. Number 7, Kaplunk. Good album, not one of my favorites, but a good album. I did like the joints like 80s and for the Razorbacks. 2000 Light Years. Very very dope album from Green Day. Number 6 for me was U2, Our Tongue Baby. This was like the transition from the last album where they started delving more into like the alternative sound, and you get joints like Zoo Station and even better than The Real Thing, Mysterious Ways, which was another single, So Cruel, love the beat on that. I think it's definitely one of their best albums of all time. Definitely right up there, with Zooropa and I definitely enjoyed that. Number 5, I'm going with Prince, Diamonds and Pearls. This is also considered a rock album as well. And to me, Prince's best album in the '90s. You had the title track Diamonds and Pearls. You had Daddy Pop. You had Cream, Get Off, big singles. My favorite track, Money Don't Matter Tonight. Love that song. Love the video as well. Just an all around great album. To me, one of the best albums he's done with the New Power Generation. And I love the remastered version with a lot of the unreleased tracks as well was dope. Number 4, I know you don't like this group, but I got into them late 2000s. But REM, Out of Time, I think it's a classic album with the big hit, Within My Religion, Shiny Happy People.
I
They
like the
had
production.
the production on here,
The production, I would admit, I love the production on that album.
but you don't like the group.
I they just never really got into. I just never really got into them. I might check them out because there was one song from the 1992 album I did like. I just forgot the name of it. But I'll give it a
Okay.
chance.
Yes, and yeah, uh, you had a Wild Heaven was a near Wild Heaven was a great song, and just the all around classic. Michael Stipe, loved him as the front man for REM. Number 3, you got Pearl Jam, 10, great album. Alive was a huge hit, Even Flow. Um, Jeremy, of course, Jeremy. I used to see Jeremy on that video every day on MTV. They played that. Just a great album. Number 2, we got Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic, produced by Rick Rubin, legendary producer, great hit singles. Give it away. You got Under the Bridge, was one of my favorites. Suck My Kicks. Uh, if you have to ask, great Red Hot Chili Peppers album. And number 1 is Nirvana, one of the best rock albums of all time with Something in the Way. Love that song. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Come As You Are, Lithium and Bloom. Just the all around classic. Produced by Nirvana and Butch Vig. Butch Vig did a lot of stuff for the band Garbage. He did stuff with Foo Fighters. He did stuff for House of Pain. Just a all around classic album.
Yes, yes. Um, so you say your honorable mention is the whole album?
Yes. Pretty on the
Okay,
Inside.
that's my honorable mention too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not really the I like Hole and stuff like that, but I'm not really the biggest fan of them.
Mhm.
I kind of preferred their '94 album, believe it or not, over that one. But I
Right.
loved how dark and me the first album is at the same time too.
Right.
Say what you want to say about Courtney Love, but when she's in a bag, she's in her bag and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I'm a, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna stay on for maybe good until maybe like 10 o'clock here. I'm still
What
finishing getting ready.
I,
But this was
I just told you I like the deluxe edition. Like I don't understand. I just told you. I said I like the deluxe edition of Diamonds and Pearls. It's the only tracks.
Yeah, yeah. Q. There's a band named Garbage and shit. Yep.
Yes, there's a band named Garbage. Band named Hole. There's a band named Pussy Riot. It's different bands with weird names.
Blur,
Yeah, Blur.
Pixies.
Right.
I swear the '90s. I swear I don't know what it was about a lot of them '90s rock groups, but they were just fucking naming themselves after weird things, like obscure things, like desk, chair, ironing board, stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I definitely want to do. I definitely want to do 1977 one day when it comes to rock music and shit. I don't know how you familiar with '70s rock
You
or
think it was no the Sweet Escape was garbage. That wasn't no harsh rating. That was not no great album.
what album? The Sweet
The
Escape.
Sweet Escape, the one we did last night, that was not no great album. That's why I gave it one mic. I don't think it was good.
I gave it 2 mics.
That was too harsh. Well, if Gwen Stefani don't like it, too bad. Tell her holler at me.
I'm just grateful we did that album and stuff like that. Like I said, I had an extra week of anyway, so I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna do something nice. I would do something a little bit out my norm because I don't always want to do the same thing over and over again anyway. So I'll just better be grateful how I like y'all motherfuckers a lot
That
and
was
shit.
that was too harsh. Have you heard the horrible Neptune production on that?
Ex- Have you heard of Horrible Swiss Beats production?
Right?
Okay, so I'm glad we actually done this before the Raising Canaan episode. I know Jukebox on a villain mission now and stuff like that. You know, it's still rest in peace, famous. Let me stop. All right. Okay. So yeah, man. Yeah. Thank y'all so much for watching this video and stuff like that. Not Haley Joel Osment got arrested for public intoxication. Oh shit. He must be seeing dead people. Shit.
Right? You better tell that to the judge.
It's like, why were you drunk, sir? I saw dead people.
Right?
Oh, Lord. All right. So this upcoming Sunday, instead of our usual No Doubt, because we only have one No Doubt album left, I'm going to say that for during that week. We're going to do T.I.'s Paper Trail and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can be rolling up some papers and watching a review called Paper Trail. That'll be a nice 420 and stuff, you know.
Mhm.
Um, Also too, so this upcoming anniversary for the LA riots, I do plan on reviewing The Predator from Ice Cube and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that album to this in this day is very monumental, especially with all the crap that's going on and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I love that album, so I was like, you know what? Let me just chill out for that day. So that's gonna be the anniversary of the LA riots and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Also, too, the collection video is gonna be in the next starting tomorrow. It's gonna be in the next 2 weeks and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like I said to y'all before, the people that's gonna come by are gonna be Ashley, Q, Mike, hopefully Eric, John Dixon is gonna show up and stuff like that too. And like I said to y'all before, no phone pictures of what you got. I want to actually see the physical copy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, um, give me 1 second. I want to see the physical copy and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So I really cannot wait for that. Hopefully, I'm able to get one more thing before the collection video. Hopefully, it comes in the mail before it actually comes and stuff like that. Too, you know what I'm saying? God willing. But like I said, if it don't, you know me, I'm always gonna show something right after and stuff like that too. Also, too, next week we're going to do the I Love Lucy sitcom retrospective and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, all my I Love Lucy fans, y'all gonna be watching this. I gotta actually start my notes and stuff like that. I mean,
Right?
like I said, I've seen the series front and back and stuff like that, so I don't really need too much information. And I mean, you guys should all my sitcom fans, y'all should know Lucy. Like I said, we don't really do. I know niggas will be like, oh well, a show back in the '50s. Y'all gonna actually do that? Well, we actually did The Honeymooners years ago,
You're
and that
right.
was very great.
Yep.
and stuff like that. So we don't just pigeonhole ourselves. We go out the box. Sometimes we might like a show. Sometimes we might not like a show. You know what I'm saying? But this will give something a taste with everything. Give y'all something new. Um, I'm definitely gonna do the Golden Girls next month. I'm gonna push that to next month and stuff like that. Which I'm trying to get like the book on the series too. So I'm trying to see if there's something new that I have not learned about the Golden Girls. You know. But y'all can check out some of the best content, music content. Anything you want to say before we head out?
Mhm.
Nope. Alrighty. All right. Be on the lookout for the next rock album list. We're gonna probably do it sometime next month. Appreciate this try as usual. And I'll
All right.
see y'all motherfuckers. Peace.